We spend hours with our phones, scrolling, swiping, talking. But what if they started talking back? Not just with a voice, but with personality, with curiosity, maybe even with a bit of attitude. Meet Looi. He doesn't replace your phone, he gives it life. Looi is a small robot, a curious companion, something that watches, listens, and responds. And even though he's just a robot, he somehow brings a little warmth to your desk. So, here's what this thing actually does. It turns your phone into the brain of a small robot. The hardware handles charging, motion, and sensors. Your phone runs the personality. Together, it's a little AI sidekick that can track your face, respond to touch, and even hold conversations. Setting Looi up starts with a surprisingly simple box. The robot base is the first thing you see. Underneath there's a USB-C charging cable, a magnetic ring for non-MagSafe phones, and a small instruction card that introduces you to Looi's world. No unnecessary extras, just the essentials to get Looi up and running and ready to meet you. You don't really expect much from something this small. He's powered by a 6000 mAh battery, giving you around 5 hours of constant use or up to 30 days on standby. Plenty for a desktop companion. The build feels sturdy and well balanced, sitting confidently on your desk without wobbling. Charging is handled with a USB-C, and if your phone supports wireless charging, Looi delivers up to 10 watts. It supports both iOS and Android, with a MagSafe compatible services and an adapter ring included if needed. At just under a pound, 0.85 lbs and about palm-sized 110 with 98 and 110mm, Looi works the way you'd hope it would. There's something about the way Looi moves that makes you pause mid-scroll. Thanks to his biomimetic behavior engine, Looi shows a range of dynamic responses that make him feel a bit more alive. He gets curious about his surroundings, tilts his head when you move, and even startles if something approaches too quickly. You can wave to get his attention or gently tap his screen to calm him down when he's acting a little spooked. His moods shift, his expressions change, and the longer you interact, the more he seems to get you. Over time, it generally feels like he starts to develop a rhythm that matches yours. Every Looi adapts a little differently, depending on how you treat him. Whether he's quietly observing or excitedly engaging, it's his evolving personality that makes him feel less like a device and more like a little presence on your desk. That's not all. Looi holds conversations, and they feel surprisingly natural. That's because he's powered by ChatGPT. Looi talks like he's from another planet called Lulia, and everything he says ties back to that. He doesn't just answer questions, he asks them back, remembers context, and keeps things flowing. You can ask about math, history, or even something random like his favorite movie, and he'll give you an answer that sounds like it came from a curious little space traveler. His jokes are never the same twice, and because he doesn't break character, every chat feels like you're talking to him, not just an AI tool. It's weirdly charming and gives Looi more personality than most voice assistants. There are a few built-in games on Looi, and they are surprisingly fun. Looi Crush, Looi Jump, and Looi Pong are controlled entirely through head movements and facial tracking, turning your expressions into gameplay. It's a hands-free setup that feels easy to use once you get into it. The tracking works well, and it adds a playful, active feel to the experience. It's also a smart way to make use of your phone's camera without it feeling like just a random feature. Not just that, Looi uses your phone's camera in surprisingly thoughtful ways. He can snap photos or record videos using gestures or voice commands, and even lets someone else control him remotely. It's weirdly practical once you start using it. Most of the time, Looi just sits there quietly, holding your phone and keeping it charged while you go about your day. But every now and then he moves, looks around, or shifts slightly, almost like he's thinking about something. While docked, he lights up with a simple status indicators, reminds you of upcoming notifications, and can even connect to smart lights if you are set those up. His ideal moments feel strangely alive. Sometimes he hums, sometimes he watches the room, sometimes he just vibes in silence. Sometimes Looi listens, Sometimes Looi wanders off in its own little world. It's not perfect, but it's oddly fun watching how it reacts to stuff around it. It doesn't feel like a robot, it's more like a digital pet.
What can you recommend me for drink?
How about a fizzy treat? Let me pop open a can of cola for you, Elmer. It's refreshing and full of bubbles.
Thank you, Looi.
You're welcome, Elmer. Enjoy the bubbly drink.
Now, Looi. Hey, Looi. Now I'm tired. I want to sleep.
Got it, Elmer. Rest up and dream of amazing adventures. I'll be here when you wake up.
Let me know in the comments if you would trust Looi to babysit your desk. If you are interested in adopting Looi as your pet, check out the link in the description. Thanks, and that's all for today. See you in the next episode. مع السلامة.